Welcome to round 4 of the F3A Racecraft Euro Series tonight, live on your TV right now and on your computers and wherever you're watching it on your phone as well. Welcome aboard. My name's Luke, this is Race Stars TV. We are F3A action tonight, kicking off the first race tonight with the silver class, just finishing up qualifying now. Alex Court on top of the times and doing a very good job too for Area 51 Sim Sports. So Alex, gee whiz, he's improving every week. And he's right out there on the track now, just finishing up his qualifying efforts. He's got a very pro-looking webcam for us as well this week, which is fantastic. And good to see Alex on top of the times by just on 23 milliseconds. So it is super tight out there tonight. If you do this series, we do have the first race, 35 minutes, followed by the big 50-minute finale, which is the gold round. 40 of the best F3 races you'll find in the world go head-to-head on this brand new circuit in iRacing, so it should be fun. Jacob Mabry's out on the track too, and all your favourite drivers. If you're here to see them or if they've brought you along, make sure you make a few comments in the chat and we'll be able to give them plenty of airtime. So big thanks to F3A, once again powered by FRG and all the sponsors. We'll go through those throughout the broadcast. Tonight's code word, by the way, for the VRS competition is tonight VIKING, VIKING. Make sure you enter that code word into the link in the description. Get yourself hooked up for that $99 package. Definitely worth having. We'll get rid of that music. We'll crank up the cars here tonight by myself, and a big shout out to Dave Roberts, who is in hospital, and we give him all our love and hope he's doing okay. And he may be watching, he may not be, I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we wish him all the best. As we look at Brad Hudson out there, Swanepoel just jumped up into 20th now. Sanders is showing off the track. Philip Sanders is crashed behind the barrier just there. Not sure how he's got over there, in fact, but that's interesting. And Daniel Byrne as well. P5, this Kitten Racing team continues to show itself at the top of the times and doing very well. Jorgen Smith, another driver who has been on form, just goes into the pit lane, practicing that pit entry, which is an aspect of this race. They're going to need to make sure they've got in check, because you do need to make a pit stop. You need to take on fuel. If you're not good at getting into the pits, well, you're going to have a bit of trouble during the race. We'll get set to go down to the grid shortly for this first race of the night here live on Race Stars TV for FRG. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Let's hit that 200 mark. We had 1,000 subscribers on our last channel, and that got deleted. So, well, let's try and build it up again. Thanks, folks. Right at the grid for tonight's first race, the silver class. Pole position, Alex Court on pole with Lee Hardy alongside him. Harry Lawrence will start from the second row with Harris and Lillis out of P4. Daniel Byrne starts from 5th on the grid with Christian Hermansen in your top 6. Philip Sanders, who had that big crash in qualifying there, starts 7th. Adam Simpson alongside him. Travis and Mabry, your top 10. Robbie Griffiths out of 11 tonight with Jorgen Smith, your top 12 as we head to the next lot of 12. Competitors 13th on the grid tonight will be Brian Cooper. Nathan Hart starts alongside him with Dave Robertson. Julian George just behind them, row 8. Row 9 on the grid, Jared Steen with Stephen Fawns, and it's Alex Stelbovic and Ty Swanepoel in 20th place tonight. Shaheen in 21st tonight with Joe Terra, Hudson and Shepard, your top 24 on the grid. 25th, so we head right to the back of the pack. It's Cassidis with Johnson, Heaton and Good Eve down there in 28th. John Lee starts from 29th. Lockie Capel will be in the safety car, and we've got Merrifield, Burt, Lachlan down there, Purcell, Wazell and Baz, your top drivers tonight. 36 competitors getting ready to do battle. Let's get rid of, well, there's your grid. We're still waiting on a couple of competitors. Let's get rid of those graphics and get set to go racing this run down to turn 1. We will put up the track map every now and then tonight for those that are unfamiliar with this circuit. It's a new one as we get our briefing from race control underway. Well, we'll turn that up tonight so we can hear a little bit of chit chat from race control, and as I am by myself tonight, a few drivers wishing others well, which is always nice to hear. But shortly the revs will rise. 35 minutes go on the clock, and you've really got to just hold on to your hats for these first couple of turns. Still waiting on Harrison P4 to grid up. Robbie Griffith in 11th, also taking his time. Alex in 19th, waiting to get on the grid. Pretty close qualifying action as always in this series, and the silver server has been showing up and playing ball. It's been some incredible races of late. Just waiting now for still Harrison Lillis to grid up. We're nearly 2.5 minutes into staging. Welcome to a few people tonight. We've got Keith Logan saying, "G'day Luke, shout out to the Sandgroper Sim Racing, Brand Johnson." And Andrew Justice sounding a bit better tonight, Luke. Not slurring as much. Another, man, to be honest with you, a 12-hour day in the office, talking most of the day, and a 2-hour presentation of sim racing is a struggle. But you'll help me through, I'm sure, tonight, folks. So if you hear me slurring or falling asleep and snoring, just send a cow prod over to give me a little bit of an awakening shock. Right, let's get set to go racing. The revs rise. Yeah, on Racestars TV for the first time at this brand new circuit on iRacing. We'll watch the front row get away here. Alex Court will try and do his best to get away cleanly. Look at that, no wheel spin at all. Fantastic start from the front runners. They've done just what the doctor ordered as they climb this little bit of a grade up the hill into turn one. So far so good. There's a little bit of passing on the apex there. A couple of drivers have run wide as well, but Alex Court straight away to the lead of this race and has a nice margin. We've got a spinner in the middle of the pack there. He's got to be careful. He's got to hold the brake and just wait. We've got another one round as well, and there's contact, secondary contact into the fence. There was another car that got caught up in that. As I was trying to say, you've got to hold the brake and make sure you don't move until all those cars pass. But I think that wasn't adhered to, and we've got a big incident to start this race. Cold tyres in these F3 cars. It's treacherous. You've got to give them a few laps to come up to temp. There's Philip Sanders, 8th place, lost one off the start. Shaheen made up nearly 12 positions in the opening couple of corners. So wow, what a start for Shaheen tonight. That's incredible. Moving through the order, there's another one wide there. That was Scott Travis, and Travis has a big swapper and then gets control of it. But Alex Court straight out to a 7/10 of a second gap here over Hardy. So what an incredible start for him as we come through to finish the first lap tonight. And look at that, a 1:19 standing start lap. That is rapid. And the field already quite spread out, more than we're used to seeing in F3A. Johnny Lee's there as well. He's moving along in 21st place, making up 8 positions. So quite a few drivers involved in that opening lap incident find themselves now back in the pit lane. And all that hard work you put in over the week preparing for a night like this, and then you find yourself in trouble early on, is never good. Christopher Mitchell in the house. Hello, Christopher Mitchell. Come and hang out, mate, in the commentary booth. I need some help tonight. As Adam Simpson, running slowly, I think has damage. But back with your race leader and doing an incredible job is this man right now, Alex Court. Qualified very well and is currently just increasing that lead slightly. It's now up to 0.8 of a second. Doing a beautiful job, beautifully painted car as well. Area 51 Sim Sports team, and he's got Lee Hardy in his mirrors, and then Harry Lawrence P3. At the moment you can see the look of concentration in his face, and that gap continues to grow. In fact, the top 3 have dropped Hermanson as well. There is Hermanson, who's got Daniel Byrne for company, but a decent lap there from Hardy as well, just closing that margin slightly on lap 2. We'll jump on board with Byrne back in P5 and have a look at how this circuit winds and wobbles its way around this picturesque place. We've done a nice job by racing to capture this circuit. And there's a shot back from P5. You can see 6th place Jorgen Smith is almost out of view now. As wow, they've really got to work hard to get it to turn in there, and Burns all over the back of Hermanson. Now Hermanson, who's just struggling slightly with those tyres, still probably not completely up to temp. Got to be careful you don't punch them too hard. He's wide again. To me, it looks a little bit like possibly he doesn't know the track as well as he might want to coming into a race like this. He was definitely wide through there, but keeping an eye on this guy, Shahan, who is now up into 9th place. So started outside the top 20, is now on the back of Scott Travis, and that'll be his next pickings. Let's see how easy this becomes. So Jorgen Smith as well. Wow, really wide there through the turn, giving us full access to his webcam once again. And currently on the back of Phil Sanders, and just watching his mirrors, Travis, who's just behind, is really putting the pressure on. And I think his webcam might have frozen there on us. Either that or he's very still in the car. There they are, both our drivers that have given us access from the Area 51 Sim Sports team tonight. Love the team name, by the way, Area 51, very cool. So Travis behind, then Shaheen still in the slipstream, and then Julian George, who is up 6 spots into the top 10 now, as Harry Lawrence once again quicker. P2 is starting to just take chunks now out of Alex Court. If we just have a quick look here at the lap times looking forward, you can see that he's taken 1/10 out of him on lap 3, nearly 3/10 on lap 4. And you'll just get back within the toe here slightly, and I think you'll close right up onto the back of Alex Court. Alex might also want to be backing himself back up a little bit to the pack and not pushing so hard that he's going to waste too much fuel in this first portion of the race. If we see a safety car, we're going to see a flurry of cars into the pit lane, but at the moment it's all green action out in front, which is fantastic to see. Busy little battle pack here between Hudson, Joe Terra's in there as well, and then you've got Stephen Fawns, who's back with Brand Johnson. A couple of the Sandgroper sim racing cars always look great, these cars, don't they? The Sandgropers. Then you got Jared Steen, who started 17th, runs 17th, and behind him it's Lukey Hayden, up 9 spots into 18th place.
A 10-second penalty for an unsafe entry causing an incident on lap 1.
So that's the Jared Steen incident that's just been reviewed, and Hazy's in the house. Hi Hazy. Macca Stewart as well says go Fast Lane Esports, and Rob Bowden saying good luck Cooper, and Steen the Tanked SRT, Kittens Racing as well, let's go Burn. Unfortunately, hello Brewers 74, let's go Tanked Boys. Unfortunately, one of your Tanked Boys has got himself a penalty, so Jared Steen will need to come in and serve that very soon. Further back you got Lachlan going wide there, Swanepoel just in front of him, and then behind you've got this little battle now. Adam Simpson part of that, Wayne Shepherd's off the track, and coming back on there is the 27 cars. That's made an absolute meal of the back end of this circuit and comes off the track. And then you've got Jesse Purcell, 28th place, cruising along nicely. But Alex Court, let's give him some airtime, because he's managed to fend off that little challenge that was coming from Harry Lawrence. Now he finds himself easily in the lead again, and he's pulled out a 1 second margin, so nice job. So lap 6 into lap 7 now. I'm just having a look. Nathan Hart has had a little bit of an incident here. Let's see if we can't bring up a replay of this. Now, was there another car involved here? Purcell was not too far away at the time. And we'll try and get a look. Back end starts to go. Look at that. So, and I think he just did it all by himself. Let's have a look at Jesse Purcell. See if that was a similar one, because Jesse was also running in some clear air. I think the back end's probably going to let go on this one as well, is it? Turns it in, back end goes around. So it's a trademark of these F3 cars. They like to pendulum themselves and face the wrong way. Back live, lap 7, we're almost 8, nearly 9 minutes into this first of 2 races tonight now. And a hello to everyone tuning in and watching. We might do a couple of shout outs too to some of the areas you're watching from if you want to say g'day and let us know which part of Australia or around the world you're watching from, and I'll do some shout outs. Who misses Flavio and his Brazilian connection? He hasn't been racing in this series, but some good memories from series gone by. Race control is always a busy little night for them ahead with obviously the gold server. We've got an extra 5 or 6 cars in that race. It's still a big field though in the silver class, isn't it? For a new track that people have had to go out and learn, we've still got a packed grid tonight, which is fantastic to see. All right, let's look at Philip Sanders. This is getting a bit tasty now between Daniel Byrne and Phil Sanders. Let's jump on board with Byrne in the Kittens racing car. He's looking for a way through. He's diving to the inside now. Thought about a move, not close enough. Crosses the line at 1:15.1, so a little bit off the pace. Travis is on the pace though. That's Scott Travis, just did a 1:13.9. There's a couple of cars back. He's really pulling out some quick laps now, trying to close up on the back of this battle. Can he get himself engaged here with Jorgen Smith and try and get P7 off Jorgen? Jorgen, who is really tuned in. I'm watching his webcam as he races. You can see him on the right hand side there. Alex Court, your race leader, on the left. And look at the way he's really got the game face on again tonight. It's gone a little bit wide there. There's almost some contact wheel to wheel as Scotty Travis tries to get through. Jorgen defends well, and it doesn't happen. In fact, is that the lap car getting in the way there? Just having a quick look. I think it actually might be. No, it is. It's Scotty Travis who we're seeing just up the road fighting with Jorgen, and that was super close. He almost got that overlap. Once again, he just shows himself in the mirror, trying to play that game, let Jorgen know that he's there, and try and slip him up, make a mistake as he comes around to start another lap. So some great racing going on. These guys are putting in 110%. We're only 11 and a half minutes in. So great job so far. Alex Court, gap at 1.14 seconds now. We haven't seen any of the top drivers pit. 28th place, Harrison Lillis is the only, well, the top driver that has stopped, and that was due to that opening lap incident. Love the characteristic of this circuit. It sort of backs around on itself. We can pick up some of these long shots just to show the real estate that the circuit uses. It's like your old slot car track where you try and fit as much on the bench as you can, and you can just see it snakes its way back around, back towards our drone camera here, and then it will loop itself back around underneath us onto the pit straight. Alex Court to start another lap. So like I said, it's quite a small footprint, this track, but plenty of real estate to race, and plenty of great sweeping corners as well. It's got a little bit of everything, this racetrack. Drivers are using it to their best advantage. There's a little look at the track map. We can see we've got some traffic up the road as well. 31 or 31st position and 30th. Not too far ahead of your race leader Alex Court right now, so he's going to catch them shortly. Back in the pack, let's head right back to Lucas Burt, who's back in 26th position. Fair way off the money tonight. Has not stopped either, so he's actually coming last. And Harrison Lillis, who has stopped, hot on his tail. So Lucas had I think maybe a spin on the last lap, because it was a lap time of 1:23. which would indicate some sort of mistake somewhere. All the track being used there by Harrison. He's not leaving anything on the table. And almost some contact as well. As we cut away to Stephen Fawn, Sandgroper Sim Racing. A lonely little drive behind his teammate, Brand Johnson, who's just up the road having more of a fight with Brad Hudson. So let's ride with this one for a moment. Watch Hudson come under attack shortly. So overlap, good job getting the car turned and out of there. Might be able to line this one up for a sweeping pass down the hill, and does well in the end. So, and running wide, Hudson, get a bit of pick up on those tyres. Might take a couple of corners to clean them up again. Ty Swanepoel's in the pits for his stop. See how long he takes to get the tyres fitted, or to get the fuel in, I should say. Generally don't fit tyres in these races. And thanks, Hans, for the kind words, man. Appreciate it, and thanks for the comments. Appreciate that as well. So a few drivers entering that competition tonight. Don't forget, code word VIKING tonight, VIKING. And you can win a VRS premium package. So if you don't know what VRS is, go and check it out. Virtual Racing School. And you can get all sorts of little goodies over on their website. They do setups, they do coaching as well. And you can basically join the academy, sign up. There's some pricing on there. It's a great little website with plenty to go and have a look at. There it is there, so you can scroll through that website, try and make yourself fits on the page for you. There you go. And yeah, plenty to look at. And there's a shop as well on the site, so you can also buy some cool bits of kit. As you see there, the coming in March 2023, this new VRS steering wheel package, so that's very cool as well. So go check it out. It's a direct drive wheel. So some really good things coming with this company, VRS, that gets behind this series and has done for many seasons now. And in fact, they give away this prize. You don't even have to pay anything to go in the draw. All you got to do is use the code word. You can do it every week. This week's code word, VIKING, VIKING. Go click that link and fill it out now, guys. Support these sponsors because they do a fantastic job supporting a series like this. Back onto the racing though, 2.5 seconds the lead between Court and Lawrence. So at the moment, just steaming away into the distance. We'll probably be hoping not for a safety car tonight if this can stay green. Alex definitely seems to have the pace to be able to win this one quite comfortably. Harry at the moment, and also Christian P3 don't have an answer for this kind of raw speed. And I think now the tyres are up to temp as well. Alex is just hurling along. We may even ride a lap on board in a second just to give you a view of this circuit. Let's jump down into this angle, and I'm going to crank up the sound here and enjoy a lap on board with your race leader Alex Court. So a lap on board there with Alex. And doing a great job too. He's got the lead out to over 3 seconds now. Just does another 1:13 lap. So turning the pace up here towards the pit stop phase 2. You'd think they probably need to come into pit around that 20-minute mark. We're at nearly 19 minutes now. Shaheen, who we're on board with now, we'll have a look at Shaheen, is now up into 7th place, up 14 spots. Our biggest mover and shaker in the running, and I think Scott Travis is about to lose this position. Shaheen will go down the inside, and job done. So Scott Travis, we're on board with now, just falls back to 7th. Shaheen up 15 spots now into the top 6. What a mega drive for this newcomer to the series. So a couple of the front runners may start to pit this lap. We just see Philip Sanders now in the pits. Scott Travis dives in as well. What about Robbie Griffiths for Fishy? No, it stays out. So someone in the background did dive in. That was Joe Terra. So Terra's in the lane, the 187. And Jared Steen stays out. Grant Johnson, another to stay out. Luke Hayden as well. Luke Hayden, I should say. 23 car stays out, so 15 minutes to go. Currently our top driver that has stopped is Hardy, who was up near the front earlier on, now 13th place. Could this be working in the favour of Hardy? He's 36.6 seconds off the lead. So he just needs to really put in some perfect laps now. I'm not sure the pace is there. He's doing 1:14 the last time around. 14.1 with the race leader did a 13.7, although the race leader was incredibly fast. Hermansen almost matched Court on the last lap with a 13.8 as well, so Hermansen in P3, probably one to watch later in the race. You know, if you can get a quick splash of fuel in now, may just come right back at them later on. Who's excited about Formula One? It's this weekend, isn't it? F1 kicking off again. Just renewed my KO subscription. I'm a tighter, so I always disconnect my KO over the off season for Formula One and then reconnect it a week before. So when will the leaders pull the trigger on the pit stop? I'm sure they're still waiting, thinking, oh, you know, what's our luck of getting a safety car this far into the race? Probably pretty good. I don't think we're going to get one now unless someone has a big monumental crash by themselves. We don't have a lot of battles going on that can create crashes either. This is one battle we do have between Brant Johnson and Jared Steen. Remember, Jared Steen has a bit of a cloud over his head as well, so he's going to need to have a tyre penalty either served or dealt out after the race. Then further back, Lillis is runs wide, just to say that. Fastlane Esports driver has made a bit of an error now. Lawrence in, Hermansen in as well. Let's keep an eye on that as your race leader stays out. Alex Court to do another lap. He's got a lead of over 9.5 seconds now. So a decent old lead for Alex Court, that's for sure. If there's anyone you're here to see, let me know and I'll give them some screen time. I know there's a couple of drivers that don't get a lot of screen time. Merrifield's one of them. Let's give Nicholas, look at that, isn't that beautiful? The old Williams livery from back in the 80s. I'm going to say late 80s, early 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was 90. Would that livery have been running as soon as 92? I'm trying to think when that livery finished up for the Williams car. I know Mansell drove a Williams car like that? Someone could tell me in the chat when that livery finished up. I know 92 was definitely that car, but looks good to see it on an F3 car here. It would be, I'm still craving the day that someone does a cool sort of F1 play with these cars, but you know, a field of 20 cars with the teams, you know, the old teams, the old liveries. I think it would be very cool to have that as something to broadcast. Maybe one day, maybe a Formula One Classics or something, call it, you know, F3, or F3 promotes F1 Classics. I love that idea because they just look really cool. So Robbie Griffiths leads now as your race leader comes into the pits. Alex Court comes back out in P4. And we'll have to do a couple of overtakes here unless Johnson, Fawns and Griffiths decide to pit on the next lap. But good pit stop for Alex Court. We'll see where he ends up once all is said and done. I think will fall back to the top shortly. Will Ryan says, where's Dave Roberts, not Roberts? Dave Roberts is... which Dave are we talking about here? We've got Dave Roberts in 17th place for Pace Syndicate. My partner in crime is normally in the combox. Dave Roberts not with us tonight. He's in hospital having surgery, so we wish him all the best. And hopefully he's back with us soon as Griffiths comes into the pits. I definitely am missing him. I've absolutely loved being able to bounce off him. He's got a world of knowledge and so good to talk to during these races. And you know,
27 to race control.
Who wants to just hear my voice as Shepherd calls race control? Let's have a listen.
Pit entry on lap 20. Copy, we got that.
Trying to find a bit of action here. Back in the pack, Stephen Fawns is in 12th place. He's got Joe Terra climbing all over the back of him at the moment. So he's a bit of a train forming behind Fawns here with Terra, George and Jared Steen. He's fighting back from that earlier penalty. Now sits in 15th. Steenie working hard here to claw something back and at least gather some points for what's been a pretty unfortunate race. Hey, don't forget too, there's your F3A lovely code to get 10% off your lovely stickers, so make sure you check that out. Go use the code. I'm just watching now on the spreadsheet, a couple more people have signed up for that VRS competition, so keep those entries coming in. It's always very good to see that support coming through. And on the last broadcast of this championship, we'll do the spinning wheel where we draw a winner, and that's always fun as well. It's always a light-hearted night. As it was close between Hudson and Grant Johnson fighting over this 16th position at the moment. Hudson just hanging on. Another new livery for the, well, it was new for a couple of weeks ago, possibly just this series, but the JWM cars always looking beautiful. And another great livery this season on the F3 car. There's a puff of smoke there. And I'm amazed to see the different lines they take through that corner as well. There's all sorts of different lines being attempted and maybe a bit of on-the-fly testing to see what's quicker as well. Can you make up a 10th here or there? But nothing's going to touch Alex Court at the moment. It's still out in front. Nearly, well, it is 3 seconds. It just ticked over to 3 as I said that. He's in a class of his own. In fact, he's probably in the gold class. He will be next week, but tonight he's just got the form of a gold driver. And he'll get elevated for next week, and he'll have a whole new ball game when he gets in with those top tier drivers who are incredibly fast and incredibly consistent. As we have a look at him now. So Stackachangi for the win, says Lack Racing. Can't wait for them in the top split. And goes Sangrover, says GN as well. So I see, I can hardly even read that time. My eyes are so blurry. But thanks GN. What's that stand for? Good news. I think, you know, I've been thinking about sim racing lately. What would make it amazing? It's already amazing, but what would make it really amazing is being able to use commercial music. Imagine being able to put commercial music within sim racing without having to pay a mozza, of course. Like that'll never work. But wouldn't it be cool to crank out some hits, get people requesting songs? One day. Nathan had a crash. Nathan Hart. I'm just having a look back. The order. Yeah, there's definitely spun down there. Who else is there? There's Purcell. Hart's around up against the barrier. There's already 2 laps down, unfortunately. And that's going to make life even harder for Nathan Hart to try and get some points back in this race outside of the top 30. So those laps won't be coming back. I think if we got a safety car, you get 1 lap back, you get a wave around. But definitely once you go 2 laps down, it's curtains as far as getting back to that lead lap in such a short race, 2:35 minutes, where only 4 minutes to go.
The blanket approval to tow from here on in. Blanket approval to tow.
So there you go, blanket approval to tow from here on in, which with 5 to go is race control just saying, look, we're not going to have a safety car, we're going to go green to the end, and that is good news for this guy, Alex Court. We'll just be thinking, righto, let's just bring it home now, hit those relatives, do the best you can. As we see Hardy now up in the second against Lawrence. Wasn't much in there. I think Lawrence just opened the door and let him through, so possibly dealing with some fuel issues. Lawrence, I'm not sure. Have a quick look at the stoppage time on the left-hand side of your screen here. So your race leader, 4.5 seconds. It was 4.8, and then Lawrence, who I think is just holding back a little, did take less fuel than Hardy. So this might be the reason why he's not been able to continue in the fight. Lewis as well on Swanepoel. No luck this time. The 34 car almost gets a little bit of a love tap from behind, but hangs on to lead us for another couple of corners yet. So we're on the home stretch now for this first race, 3.5 to go. Let's look at this guy. Oh, was that a spin in the background? I did hear some spinning tyres. Possibly not. Maybe my ears are playing tricks on me. So Swanepoel hasn't had the best night tonight. 22nd place. Down 2 positions, but Lewis, the next car up the road, he's down 17 spots. So that hasn't been way less than ideal for him tonight. So Jared Steen's gone around. Where is Steen? I'm just having a look down the order here. Big cloud of smoke. He's back on his feet there, but Steenie has had a little bit of a shock. Let's have a look at the replay on this one. Is there another car involved? Oh, it's close. Let's have a look. Oh, there's someone in the background having a spin as well. No, he just lost the back end. So it's all gone bad to worse for Jared Steen tonight, the Tank to Sati driver. Pops it into the wall with a couple to go. And we'll drop further down to now 18th place. But we've got to focus on Alex as much as we can over the next couple of laps, because this has been a drive and a half. Has shown early pace and then pushed on to extend to nearly a 4-second lead, can you believe, over Hardy. And Hardy's had no answer at all. Then Lawrence, who's backed off slightly in the last part of the race now, has not had an answer either for this fast-paced Alex Court. We'll see how he goes next week. Like I say, it's always a good tune-up when they do so well here in Silver, and then they step up next week to the A game, and it's a whole new kettle of fish. And the speed, the consistency of Roberts and the likes is just second to none. I mean, you could almost print out an Excel spread of their lap chart, and you know, we'll be within a tenth of a second or 2/10 of a second. The whole race, they just punch out lap after lap after lap, and that is why they're so good. So watching the time here, we'll get one more lap in, judging by this. So Alex Court hopefully has got his fuel calculations right. He'll cross the line shortly to go through, and we'll get the white flag one to go. He crosses the line. Let's have a little bit of a look-see. There he goes, flat chat down to the first corner in a 1:13.9, still racking off the 1:13s even at these late stages of the race. That's an incredible pace. He's come out tonight, and well, everyone is probably sitting back going, how is he so fast? He's just driven beautifully. Gone to the effort of making this banner as well on the side of his webcam stream. It's fantastic. Not many corners to go, and then we're into gold. We'll do some quick interviews. We'll head over to the gold server, and 50 minutes of chaos tonight with those guys. We're interested to see what the track speed is for gold tonight. You know, we're seeing 13s. Are we going to see 12s or 11s in gold, or is 13 pretty bang on the money for one of these cars around a venue as such? Well, we'll know shortly, and we're going to know in a minute or so, or less than a minute, how it feels to win this race. And Alex Court, let's see if we get any emotion at all as he comes on to the start finish line to take the checker flag. There's a fist in the air, so he enjoys that one. He takes the win tonight, 4.5 seconds from P2. Lee Hardy's going to take P2 tonight, ahead of Lawrence, who comes home in third. Your top three separated 5.7 seconds in the end, but that's some fantastic racing. Hermanson comes home in fourth, ahead of Sanders and Byrne. Shaheen, to me, one of the drivers of the day, up into P7 from the back of the grid. So what a great drive. Travis as well, inside the top 10, 8th with Jorgen Smith 9th, and then Jacob Mabry rounding out your top 10. So we'll get some results to you in a minute, and a couple of interviews with these drivers before we head over to our gold server. But it was all about Alex Court tonight. He's taken that win, 4.6 seconds in style. We'll talk to him shortly. Racing Hero, your race results coming up on the screen right now, and as confirmed, it's a win to Alex Court, 4.6 seconds over Hardy, Lawrence, Hermanson, Sanders. And you had Byrne Shaheen up into 7th place ahead of Travis Smith and Mabry at top 10. As we look further down the field, your favourite drivers all to be seen there, having a great effort tonight. We'll head across now, see if we can't get a couple of drivers in for an interview. And who have we got first of all? No one yet. We're just waiting. Right, so we've got a chance now to talk to Alex, who's heading into the broadcast booth, and congratulations, Alec, on a great win tonight. Man, you just look so quick tonight. You were able to pull that gap at the start, and from then on in, the rest is history. Well done, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. A little bit disappointed not to be up in the gold split, but yeah, a couple of personal health things popped up this week, and yeah, just wasn't able to get the time in pre-quali, so look happy with the win tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, you drove really well, mate. Good speed in the car, and Lee, you also P2. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Talk us through your race.
Yeah, I got 2 slowdowns in the first 5 laps, and that sort of put a damper on things, but yeah, went alright after that.
Well done. And Harry, mate, good racing tonight. We saw you in the thick of things. You happy with that performance?
Sure am. Great first round. Well done to Alex and Leith on their respective podiums as well. It was great racing, you guys.
Yeah, cheers Harry, and cheers Leith. Yeah, great racing.
Awesome job. Right, we're going to do some quick thank yous before we head over to our gold server. We've got to load that in. So first of all, who would you like to thank, Alex?
I'd like to start off with Corp IT, Racing with Autism Australia, Dubby Energy Drinks, and special shout out to 24/7 Sim Services and all the boys over at Area 51 Sim Sport for their support for me over the last couple of weeks. Much appreciated, and thanks to everyone who puts the series on, and yeah, congrats to the other 2 on podiums.
Great drive, man. Well done with the win tonight. Hardy, or at least I should say Hardy, well done, mate. P2, who would you like to thank?
Probably the organisers and yourself, as always. VRS, Schots Home Emporium. I saw them for the train the other day, and I remembered them. So
very cool.
Lovely sticker, and yeah.
Great to see you on the podium, mate. Well done with P2. And then finally, Harry, who would you like to thank, man, for P3?
Probably just the race organisers, race control, and yourself.
Good on you. Right, well, the 3 of you will be in gold next week, so that'll be a different kettle of fish. Good luck for that, and we look forward to seeing it.
Cheers, mate.
Right, cheers. That's your top 3 from our first silver class tonight. Alex Court took the win, and then it was Hardy and Lawrence, your top 3. We'll be back shortly with our big gold server. Give us about a minute or 2 to load in.
Racekraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter. The SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation. Introducing the race.
Welcome back to part 2 of the evening. It is the gold round now for F3A. We are at round number 4 of this season 12. Big thanks to Racecraft Simulations, of course, and lovely stickers. Shots for coming on board as well again. And it's great to have them. And of course, VRS giving away that $99 US package as part of their ongoing support of this series. So make sure you thank those sponsors. And as we finish up qualifying here, it's Reese McGatz on top from Benjamin Roberts and Bailey Evans, your top 3. Once again, Reese has just been on form for Simrigs, and Roberts didn't have an answer in that qualifying session to the point of 9/1000ths of a second. Incredibly close. Jack Maris slips into 6th at the last minute there, and good job looking at a few drivers that are way down the order there. One, Tyler Blackburn. It's good to see I noticed that we've got Daniel Yeaman here again tonight. Kobe Williams slots up into 5th, so Kobe, a quick competitor with plenty of real life racing experience, jumps into the top 5. Loretti at the moment needs to finish this lap and do it well. Goes only 19th, Adrian Loretti, so a little bit down from where he would probably like to be at the start of this race, but we'll go across in a second and we'll go through the full grid running into what is round number 4. The gold server about to get underway shortly. So pole position tonight, Reese McGetz puts it on the top of the front row with the Benjamin Roberts alongside him. Bailey Evans starts from the second row with Philip Worley. Then you've got Kobe Williams and Jack Mara, speedy third row there. Watch out for them. Rob Bowden starts from 7th tonight with Thiago Macedo alongside him out of 8th place. Dylan O'Shea and Trevor Leonard rounding out your top 10. A couple of Racecraft cars slipping into the top 10 there. Chris Wazell starts from 11th tonight with Daniel Yeaman alongside him out of P12. As we go to the next page of the grid, 13th on the grid, Caleb Dawson starts there with Ben Brazier next to him. Craig Anspatch and James Glasspool, the top 16. It's Rogers and Cirillo down in 18th place. Loretti out of position in 19th. We'll start alongside Tyler Blackburn. There's Damien Cairns back in 21st tonight with Broad, Barnes and Fitt, your top 24. 25th on the grid. Tonight's racing. Come on, turn the page. 25th is Kaylin Arthur with Betrell down there in 26th, and it's Will Ryan 27th, Cowell down in 28th place, and it's Mazoka and Riso Gorman running out your top 30. Knitska starts from 31st with Luke Fitt alongside him. Millington, Stewart, Bargian and Hanley at top 36. Way down the back of the field, 37th is Lockie Taylor, Luke Mitchison, Corey McFarlane and Lockie Capel in the safety car standing by. Hopefully not needed in this race. We'll see how we go. It's been so far so good tonight. Throughout the silver race, no safety car. How will we go with our gold server? Still waiting on a heap of drivers to load in, obviously, but well, the nerves start to rise. We've got Caleb Dawson giving us access to his camera as well tonight. It's good to see Caleb again with also Loretti, and down the bottom Damien Cairns. So we'll be flicking between each of these drivers, and there is Damien Cairns, who's been always giving us access to his webcam each week, and big thanks to him, and hello to his better half, I will say that. And looking forward to tonight's racing. We usually get a bit of away from this man when he realizes he's on camera. There he is, the shuck as well. Good luck to all our competitors tonight. It's going to be a grueling 50-minute race round here. They need to give respect to the tyres, especially for these first 3 or so laps until they come on song. It's well, we saw them dancing around. A few incidents on the opening lap cost many drivers a lot of positions, and like I said earlier, you put all this work in, the last thing you want to do is to be facing the wrong way at the start of one of these races, and all that work goes out the window. So hold on to your hats. We'll get set for a start shortly, and you're going to see 40 of the best sim racers get underway and head down towards turn 1. And who comes out the other side? Well, hopefully most of them, without anyone spinning around. We're about 4 seconds off hearing the revs rise here, and staging will be complete. Reese McGatz, what a fantastic qualifying effort for him to get it on pole position. Here we go, the revs rise for round number 4 of this F3A Season 12. Thanks to Racecraft Simulations, and a clean getaway has been had at the front. Good jump. He got a little bit of wheel spin, but then got away very, very well. And the whole field behind, filtering their way towards turn 1. Fantastic start. They all got through, but we got a spinner at the top. It's our pole sitter's gone around. Can you believe it? So he's made a meal. We'll get a replay on that shortly, but he's made a meal of the first couple of corners. Did he lose the back end like we saw so many times in the silver class tonight? That is heartbreak, as Roberts now has got a slowdown by the looks of things. Roberts dropping back as well. Does he have a slowdown or damage? He's having to drop way down, and I wonder if Roberts maybe was involved in an incident early on in this piece, and that's what's happened to your pole sitter. But it's busy out there. It looks like we're still staying green. We're listening to the race control channel, but wow, that's a heartache there for your pole sitter. And Roberts, who's dropped back to third, I think is just was serving a slowdown by the looks of it, and that's what's cost him a couple of positions. We'll get that replay out for you shortly. There's more incidents here. There's contact again. I think Roberts has either got broken suspension, and he's going to go around here and be facing the wrong way on the exit of the corner. He's just got to be patient here, and I'm trying to see. It looks like there's damage to that car, and is this to do with that turn 1 incident? We'll go back now and have a quick look. He seems to continue on, so he hasn't dived in the pit lane, which would have been a straightaway giveaway that something was wrong. But here's a replay now at the start. We sort of cut away just as Reese was dropping it, so he got away well from the line. There was that initial wheel spin, and then what happens through turn 1? We'll zoom in and have a look. Back end gets away from him, so he did it all by himself. Roberts took evasive action. That's where Roberts would have picked up the slowdown by having to run off the track there, and it was an eternity for Reese to get back on, and subsequently puts him way down the order. Benjamin Roberts now as well, down in 25th place, and we've got more cars in trouble. It's O'Shea in the barrier, and Reese O'Gorman's under investigation too for an incident with Kaylin Arthur on lap 1. So leading the race, the Simrigs car of Philip Worley now ahead of Bailey Evans and Jack Murray, your top 3. Tiago slips up into 4th place for Racecraft at Team Blue, so great driving here from Tiago. Be happy with that. And behind him, that was Yeaman, I think, running wide in the background. Or was it? I think it may have been Yeaman, but he's back on the pace now and challenging Kobe Williams. So we'll jump on board with Daniel, who's already fuel saving. Listen to that. Dipping that clutch already, saving as much fuel as he can in the early portions of this race. It's a hectic little opening chapter. We've got a long way to go. 50 minutes this race tonight for the A game. So lots to be talked about. And obviously plenty of little micro battles we'll watch as well. This one, Ben Brazier and Anspatch just behind him. Further back, you've got Caleb Dawson recovering from his little bit of a falter at the start. And jump on board with Caleb now. So he's just behind Gus Cirillo, and you've got Craig Anspatch up the road as well. They've made pretty good gains, those drivers. There's more tyre smoke from one of the looked like one of the drop bear cars. It may have been Daniel Yeaman. It's about 5 or 6 cars up the road here. So decent start by a couple of competitors in that group, and one of them being Daniel Yeaman, up 5 positions. They're still donating money to Beyond Blue, which is fantastic, and that's, you can see their commitment to that charity, and Beyond Blue stick it on the car. And what a great team, as he now sits behind Kobe Williams, who's actually pulling away. Kobe's just done a 1:13.4. It's about 4 or 5 tenths quicker than we saw in the Class B race or the silver race earlier. Kobe really driving that car. Cirillo's gone off the track, and that's Gus sitting in the grass there in a bit of trouble. There's another car there as well, Caleb Dawson maybe, who's also spun around. So we've had 2 cars go off in a little altercation there. We'll see if we can't find a shot of that one as well. So I wonder who was at fault there. We will find out. But Ash Henley's also gone off too. So here's the replay of Ash's little incident. See the back end go around again, no doubt. Whoop, there we go. So, whoop, and trying to keep it off the fence. Puts it into the fence. We've got a drive-through penalty.
A drive-through penalty for causing an incident on lap 1.
So Risa Gorman's been given a drive-through penalty for an incident on lap 1. And that really puts a dampener on your race when you've got to trundle through the pit lane. You can't service anything. You can't take a fast repair. You can't take fuel or tyres. You literally have to go through and unfortunately serve that penalty. So further back in the order, this is a real little scrap going on now between Cowell, Blackburn, Roberts, Mazoka and McFarlane. It's good to see Corey McFarlane back out there for Send It Sim Sports, or in the drop bear livery. And he's just behind Benjamin Roberts, who's had a shocker of a start tonight, on board with Roberts looking back. So they're a bit of a train of cars here as Luke Fitt almost goes into the back of Mazoka. Then you got Will Ryan for Pace Syndicate stuck in behind this group of cars. Look at that beautiful livery for Will Ryan. Lockie Taylor then next in the queue, and Scott Barjan, who's back further, who's doing his best to try and jump a few positions at the start as well. We're looking at Scotty there, fighting with Reese McGetts, your pole sitter, back in 24th position, can you believe? So the pole sitter dropping way back down the order, and he's got a big fight in his hands. He's got plenty of time to do it. Still 43 minutes in this race, and plenty of time for him to wiggle his way back towards the top 10, especially with a bit of strategy. He might just be able to do it, as now Trevor Leonard is involved with a scrap here with Daniel Yeaman. Let's jump on board with Daniel. And there's Leonard's Racecraft car to his left. And Yeaman's he's a wily fox. He'll know what to do here. He needs to just apply the pressure, try and force Trevor to make a slight mistake, and then try and slip through. So we'll stay on board here with Daniel for a half a lap or so and watch his progress. Riding on board there with Daniel Yeaman, having a look down the inside on Trevor Leonard, and job done. So he set him up a long way back and gets that done. A couple of comments coming through too, just saying how Reese and a few others will have fun working their way back through the order. They will. They just got to try not to trip over Dave Roberts now. Benjamin Roberts up into 17th. And on the back of Thomas Cowell trying to find his way through Roberts to sit a new fastest sector of anyone in Sector 1. So he's got the beat between his teeth and absolutely flying. Hello Christine, hello Stephen as well, and others making comments. It's a good flowing racetrack. A few people have commented on that as well. It seems to be pretty exciting to drive. Branch says it's a tough course technically. Yeah, it is. And the only chance you get for rest is the main straight, about 5-6 seconds of time to actually rest your arms and rest your mind a little bit as well. Maybe grab a quick drink, but yeah, you've got to push right throughout this one. No Dave Roberts tonight, that's right, so I'm by myself in the commentary box. Actually not feeling 100%, if you're hearing some silence tonight, that's me on Struggle Street. But yeah, I do miss him tonight. He's been a great asset. He's such a knowledgeable guy, David Roberts. Obviously he's got the pedigree behind him. He's been a real life Australian champion and raced any or almost everything when it comes to car racing. He's got a great amount of experience, and we miss him tonight. We wish him well. He's in hospital, and if he gets a chance to watch this back, we'll send our love on behalf of everyone that views this fantastic F3A series, because it is a good big family we've got going on here, and we do miss when someone is absent from the family. So big shout out to you, Dave. We'll talk to Rue at the end of the night as well, see how Rue's going. But so far in this race, let's put the ticker up there so you can just see where your favourite drivers are hovering, because there is a lot going on. It's not as straightforward as it appears. You look at the timing screen, you've got not a lot of battles going on. Paul Rogers is about to be all over the back of James Glasspool here and goes a long way around, can't get it done. James Glasspool's currently running 9th. 7 positions, so he's made a few gains off the start, but a 5-second penalty for Chris Wazell for causing an incident on lap 2. Big hello to our viewers, Facebook, YouTube and Twitch. Obviously we've got a new YouTube channel, RSTV AU, so if you can give us a subscribe, that'd be fantastic. RSTV AU, as we head towards 200 subscribers. Thanks Steenie, Scott Travis as well, and Jordan Liu for subscribing in the last couple of minutes. Fantastic to see you guys on there and supporting the channel, so hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll try and do some more shout outs as we rebuild this channel. And obviously we've got some great series coming up. We've just announced the Pro Invitational series for 2023 as well, which is fantastic. There's some really cool tracks we're going to, and I'll be once again doing production for that series, only production. And Brad says Dave's insights are amazing, enjoy hearing his thoughts each race, and 100% agree. It's a big asset not here tonight in the absence of Dave Roberts, and I do miss being able to bounce off him. It's funny, I struggled at first to have someone else to talk with, but now it just seems essential. And in fact, my master plan of race stars is within the next 6 months you won't hear my voice at all. It'll just be my production, which is the part of sim racing I like to do, and when I've got to talk, I can do far less as far as snap zooms and trying to make this look as cool as possible. So yeah, big things on the horizon for Race Stars TV. Plenty of big series coming up with lots of production to do, but great to hear some new series announcing today. And of course we're committed here with F3A for another season, the Roadster Rumble as well, and always having a bit of fun with them. They've got the 5-second penalty now for Sorello for causing an incident lap 4, so they're just getting through those incidents now, and race control with it all under control. And a big shout out to them in the race control room, Lockie Capel, Rue Coyster and Ty Ratcliffe doing a great job as always. Wow. Once a week, get me on the grid and then you run the stream, that would be alright too. I think eventually I'd just like to go back to actually having to drive again. It's been many a year. I got my all my sim gear. I've got some fantastic Heisenfeld pedals and some Fanatec gear and a Simatec chassis, all packed up in the corner of this studio room, and not a lot going on, to be honest with you, other than it's sitting in a pile. So I think one day definitely I'll get it out and start running again, which should be a heck of a lot of fun. DSR always happy to jump on the comms. Jump in, guys. Come and join me tonight. We've got a long way to go in this race, and lap 13, 15 minutes in. First pit stop phase, I would presume, would be a flurry if we get a yellow flag, but right now we don't have anything to have a yellow flag for. It's been pretty clean. Little bits of naughtiness in the first lap. We've seen race control slap some penalties down for those drivers, but all in all, it's been pretty well behaved out there as we watch Trevor Leonard ahead of Paul Rogers. Still further back in the field, Dylan O'Shea having a fight here with Will Ryan, gets through down the inside. Pretty simple overtake, that one. Andrew Dyson says, I feel like broadcasting, production, comms, even race control are all fun parts of the game that some people prefer more than racing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, 100% agree. To be honest with you, my favorite thing about sim racing, and I think the Pro Series has highlighted it for me, is just having commentators do the commentating, and I control the production. I can do on the fly cool sort of like zooms and blurs, that sort of thing. It just adds to the look and appeal, and it is a huge thing to do, multitask, and I really look forward to it. We've got some big things, big announcements to make for the channel and where it's going to go, production based, in the next 6 months or so. But this series, we're up to season 12. F3A is huge, and just so much credit to Rue and his team of people, because once again tonight you got 40 drivers in the top split, nearly 40 in the second split as well, all rocking up as we've got a car in the fence there as well. That's let's see who that was. It was one of our back markers. It may have been Kalen Arthur, who rejoins. So we go without a safety car. Still, it's an awkward place to come back onto the track though, as he parks on the apex. But as I was saying, it's incredible. So many facets of sim racing, so many different things to do, and the fact that this series can have 80 or so drivers every Tuesday night rock up, and a waiting list on this gold server as well. There's people that just want to get out there and race, but you got to be the best of the best to be in this one. And Jack Mara is showing once again his DSR capabilities. Haha, Johnny, sell that Simatech, mate. It's all packed up, ready to go. We're still, how many years have I been saying I've got to get myself this Racecraft broadcast hybrid broadcasting rig. I need to get it done, mate. We need to sort it out. We need to find some time to sit down together and design this thing. It would be an absolute beast, I reckon. So it would be very, very cool. Alright, so Benjamin Roberts, who's got the number 1 on the car, the reigning series champ, fighting his way back through the field. He's 15th. He's got a lot of work to do, as once again these guys, oh, that was close. It's Dylan O'Shea and Tyler Blackburn here. I reckon these two have diced it out over the years in a few different races, a few different types of cars, maybe some GT racing at some point. Dylan O'Shea almost collecting the back of Tyson. Like, oh, nice run down the inside. He sent it, and looks like job done. So good overtake there, Dylan O'Shea. He didn't really need a second invitation when the door was left wide open. Let's have a look at that one. So he was tucked in nicely, and then he just sent it towards the apex, V'd the corner well, got it turned after it stopped, and then punches out of the corner beautifully. So Dylan O'Shea now moves himself up into 22nd place. Jason says, is Yeaman still fuel saving? I'm sure he would be. He's in P7. Let's just jump on board and have a listen. It's usually a dead giveaway with Daniel Yeaman. Let's listen in. So there he is. Yeah, definitely fuel saving. So he's 8.3 seconds off the lead of the race. I'm not sure what the... Has he got a problem? That looks slow, didn't it? 8.5 now. So he's lost another couple of tenths in a few corners there. Not sure what his end game is here by fuel saving so much so early. I mean, we've still got a pit stop to go. He'll need to fuel that car up to the end, but he's got this deficit now of 8.5 seconds. you can only feel safe so much. That 8.5 seconds is a long way to recover, unless he really is banking on a safety car and saving enough fuel to be able to jump forward later on. But yeah, it's an interesting strategy. We'll see how it comes out. On board with Bailey Evans, who's wringing the neck of this car, the Simrigs.com DPR car. He's got Jack Mara in the Snackachangi car all over his gearbox at the moment as well. Jack is P3, started 6th, so pretty good. You hear the front end of that car squealing as he turns into the corner, and really understeering and pushing as he then transfers the weight and gets back on the throttle. Just having a look where the ready is at the moment. We've got someone requesting a tow out there. I'm trying to see if that's Tiago, is it? In the middle of the track, spun around one of our racecraft cars. I don't think it was Tiago requesting the tow though, it was someone else. We might have a car stopped out there, is it? Flick through a few cars here and see if we can see someone. Yeah, it's Tyson Broad, who's well out of the way, and he's been given permission, I think, to tow back to the pits. There's now Trevor Leonard's had a crash, has he? He's got damage on that car. That was definitely off earlier. Might have been avoiding something there, Trevor Leonard, for Racecraft Gold, but he's back in 27th. He was way further up the order earlier, but let's give a bit of airtime here to Philip Worley, who's doing a great job out in front. So F3A Lovely, your code word for tonight, if you want to save 10% off those stickers. And don't forget to, we've got competitors, we've got a few drivers that have put their name down. Brad Hudson, Gary Good Eve have put their name down as well for the fantastic VRS competition. In the last couple of minutes they've entered their names in, so keep those names coming through. Go in the prize draw at the end of this season to win that $99 package from VRS. And you know what, I've used their setups over the years. They are incredible, and so good that you can get that sort of assistance, especially when you're starting out learning how to race. You don't really know how to set up a car. VRS comes in and gives you a heck of a lot of help, which is fantastic. Good to see Kobe Williams back tonight. I said that earlier, he's currently P4, sitting in behind Worley, Evans and Mara, and Paul Rogers into the pits now. So waiting for a flurry into the pits. We should see, I think if we stay green through to the half-hour mark, we're almost at halfway point now. I think if we stay green to the half-hour mark, we're definitely going to see everyone jump in during these green flag conditions for a pit stop as Yeaman and Glasspool start to fight each other. Not sure what's going on. Like I said, I don't really know Daniel's game plan as he picked up the pace slightly. He's now 16 seconds off the lead, so it hasn't really worked for him so far. And behind them, McFarlane also going wheel to wheel here with Josh Fitt, who sneaks in front. So some busy racing going on between them. We'll stay on board here with Josh Fitt for a little bit, looking out over the exhaust of this F3 car. And he's got a real good fight on his hands. You can hear him chomping at the throttle there. Just not getting a good clean exit out of the corner, and that's cost him. And down the straight, down into the braking zone, McFarlane sends it to the inside and makes an overtake. So that was all from that corner exit. You could hear him chomp the throttle a couple of times, trying to get it to grab traction, and in the end, it's gone against him. The code word, No, the code word for tonight's VRS is VIKING, VIKING. So make sure you use the right code word for that. The code word for lovely stickers, if you want to get 10% off, is F3A Lovely. So there it is up on your screen now. And there's links to our sponsors in the description of the video, and also go and give Schots a bit of a look as well, because it's a fantastic store. I think they also sell online, which is very cool. Adrian Loretti didn't qualify so well tonight. There he is, sitting in his rig at the moment, back in 23rd position. A lot of work to do in the Kittens racing machine. Lots of lights going on in that room. It's a very cool looking setup. As once again, Yeaman fastest in sector 2, so he's turning the wick up when he wants to, Daniel, but I think a lot of these drivers, you know, basically from Glasspool down, 6th place down, they've got that buffer now of 15 or so seconds. Their only hope is a safety car. As Roberts, I think it's just overtaken there by Thiago. So Roberts, I'm not sure what happened to him at the start. He has not been able to recover those positions. And here's another driver under a little bit of pressure now, is Damien Cairns, who, you know, he's a regular top split driver now. There's no doubt about it. Driving so well. And 23rd, he lost a few positions in the first half of the race, but still, there's still over 23 minutes to climb back. And, you know, his first goal will be top 20. If you can get into a top 15 finish, then that's even better. But you got to set yourself those little steps and then try and work your way up the ladder, which is very cool. Damien, always a great competitor. I've been loving his racing for a long time now, watching him in different disciplines on iRacing and even R-Factor 2, I think. So yeah, he's doing a good job. Phil Worley still leading here by 2.4 seconds, so very similar to what we saw in race 1, the race leader being able to just command a bit of a lead and hold the gap to Bailey Evans, who, you know, he's lapping in the low 13s, so they're not slouching around, these drivers. I think in silver we saw high 13s, more of a 14-second average lap time, whereas these guys are nailing low 13s every lap. Worley leads from Evans, Marrett, Williams, Bowden, and Glasspool. We've got a car in the pits. Ben Brazier goes in from P9. So he's pulling the trigger at 28.5 minutes. I wonder if we'll see any of these top drivers go in. The last lap time was a 13.0 for Worley, so he has turned the pace up slightly at the front. Bailey Evans got a couple of lap cars in between himself and the leader. Trying to catch up. I got the hiccups. Just what you need while you're trying to broadcast. I need more whiskey, I think. Bailey Evans P2. Jack Marron in third. Also just sitting in this train. And then you can see Williams in behind in that bright green car. Being very watchful. Rob Bowden having another decent race, up 2 spots into 5th. He's a quiet achiever, Rob. He just ticks away. And the good thing for Rob is he's only 6 seconds off that lead, so he'll be hoping and just wishing upon a safety car at some point, or hoping he can just find a little bit more pace closer to the race end. But we've only got 20 to go now. We're starting to tick into the back end of the race. No no safety car as yet. In fact, the whole night we have not had a safety car yet. Mara pits under green flag, so does Anspach and Mazoka. All of them coming in now for their first and only pit stop under green flag, so it's costly. Cassidus says, I thought this track would be chaos, but that was a joy of a race. Yeah, I think that's probably the resounding answer you get from a lot of drivers tonight, is they've had a bit of fun out there. It's a flowing track. It's your old school sort of flowing F1 sort of track where corners lead into corners, and the rhythm of the car does a sort of a dance, and you can see these long sweeping corners where the tyres are heavily loaded, but then they onto a short straight where you can quickly rest your arms and have a think about your fuel strategy and maybe talk to your spotter a little bit, then you're back into it. So it's such a short break for the drivers down that pit straight. Big thanks to Johnny at Racecraft 2 subscribing, and Jordan Lou, as well as plenty of other guys subscribing tonight. So we're heading now up towards that 190 subscribers on YouTube. Keep it coming. 192, there you go. We've got 8 to go. Can we get to 200 subscribers tonight? That would be very cool. If we can get 8 more people on YouTube to subscribe to RSTVAU. Tell your friends if they like some racing. RSTVAU, we're putting all our pictures up there now, thanks to Type N Esports for the loan of their YouTube channel for a little while there, but now we're back with a new home to build what was a great following once again. So thanks to everyone hitting that subscribe button. Keep it coming. Oh, big moment there from Leonard. He's had a few of those tonight, hasn't he? That's costly too. It's just dropped him back a further couple of positions, which coming into the pit stops, he did not need Trevor Leonard, although he has stopped, so forget about that. He's made his only stop already. Those that haven't stopped, we're looking at probably the top 10, right to Luke Fitt, yet to stop. Jack Mara has, so the man on your screen right now came in for fuel. That is done. Jack can push this to the end of the race. He's in a pretty decent position actually. He's 35 seconds off the lead. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get very close to still in the lead away from Philip Worley. If Philip was to have any incidents, I think you'll find he'll be ready to take it, run away with this win tonight. Sure, just saying really likes Bowden's livery. Yeah, it's one of my favourite as well. There's quite a few cars in this series that just look incredible. I mean, nearly every car just absolutely looks the part. They put a lot of work into liveries, be it using professional painters or just spending a lot of time themselves in the garage getting these cars looking schmick. And there is the Tank SRT car of Rob Bowden. Could almost hypnotise you, I reckon, that livery. If it was on a pocket watch going side to side, make your eyes spin. We're looking at Daniel Yeaman here. Oh, there's a spinner. Who was that? I think it might have been Dawson again. It was someone went around. Big cloud of smoke. It was Caleb, I think, recovering the car. But yeah, Yeaman driving well as Wally now. Race leader comes in the pit. So does Bailey Evans. 34 minutes into the race, so Rob Bowden's in as well. Will we see Glasspool and Yeaman come in? Let's jump on board with Jimmy, and he goes straight in. So does Yeaman follow him? He does. So we're going to have a big procession now through the pit lane, a pit party, as they call it. We'll see if Josh Fitt and O'Shea come in as well. So Fitz stays out. He'll go to the lead of the race. Jack Mara coming down the pit straight now. Where's he going to end up after all this? Worley, who was leading the race, just getting into the pits now. He's going to come out onto the race circuit just ahead of Bailey Evans. Jack Mara in 4th. Where is Mara in all this? There he is there. So not as high as I thought he would be. Obviously the race leader still has to pit. So he's effectively 3rd, but Tyler Blackburn sitting there in 5th needs to pit as well. That will move everyone else up a position. So we'll give it another lap, I reckon, before we see Fit come in and Blackburn. That will promote Bowden and Williams up another position into the top 6, and Glasspool up into 7th. Yeaman will go back into 8th place, and Roberts is sitting there on the fringe now in 11th. He'll move up into the top 10 again when all is said and done. The one who has just not been able to recover after that brilliant pole position is Reece McGetts, all the way back in 18th place for DPR. So it's just been a tragedy tonight. We saw the spin at turn 1 from pole position and got a good start as well, got it hooked up, got a good drive, and then threw it away on the first corner and be kicking himself for the rest of the evening, no doubt. So more pressure here, Benjamin Robertson. Oh, Rogers holding his own there. He says, I don't mind that you've got the number 1 on your car. I'm going to keep my elbows out and hold you out from another position here. So Roberts may dive to the inside and have a look, which he does. Good driving too from Paul Rogers to possibly just leave the door slightly open and not fight that one too hard. But Roberts now moves into 8th place on his charge back after the incident and a couple of mistakes at the start of the race, which has been very, very costly. So Roberts, Rogers, and then McFarlane to round out your top 10. And Corey McFarlane's not too far behind these drivers either, so if he can attach himself to the back of Rogers and Roberts, then they can try and work together to get to this man, Daniel Yeaman, who's about 4 seconds up the road from Roberts, so a good gap for him, a good breathing space off his tail. Then you got Jimmy Glasspool, Kobe Williams, and then you're into the top 4. Philip Worley back into the lead of the race after his stop with a pretty healthy lead, 2.9 seconds. That pit stop working in his favour. Let's have a look at the amount of fuel that was put in to see how it compares between the drivers. Because I find that interesting. 4.8, 4.6 and 4.5 for the top 3, so all pretty similar. Roberts put in 4.8 as well. Yeaman took 5.6, so for someone who we saw fuel saving from the get-go, he actually took the most fuel out of anyone there, and once again that absolutely confuses me. So maybe he does it just to confuse me. Maybe that's what it is for Daniel, but anyway, he's still sitting in P7. Further back, there's your pole sitter, Reece, now up into 17th place. Still can't get past Damien Cairns, so Cairns, who's the car in front, is driving brilliantly at the moment, just defending, putting the car in the right position, not letting the pole sitter sneak through. So 10 minutes to go as we look out the back of a man who was a second splitter for many, many weeks now, always in this top split and driving beautifully in the 88 car, Type N eSports car. So obviously a bit of work still to be done though, and back in the pack, Tiago into the pits. No, made a move to send on Lockie Taylor as Hayden Millington's off in a safe spot, rejoins quickly, so just a little spinner down there as well. Philip Worley, 3.1 seconds. Let's have a look at the lap chart and just see how that's been progressing over the last few laps. Evans has been able to just peg him back a 10th on the last lap. Prior to that, lap 29 was the best one for Evans. He took nearly 7/10 out of the race leader. this lap. Let's have a look at that when it updates in a couple of seconds time. That way that lap Wally has actually pulled out 4/10 over Evans, so it's yo-yoing a little bit between those two. So we're inside the last 10 minutes. Start putting your predictions out there. It's a 3.2 second lead. Wally back to Evans. Can barely do anything about this. Obviously there's some team orders there as well. Jack Mara sitting in third. He'll fight to the death here with Rob Bowden, you would think. Rob's been involved in some big battles this year, and he won't let up towards the end. If Bowden can sneak ahead of Mara, that's a podium, and every podium is exciting for these drivers. They don't like finishing one step off, that's for sure. Josh Fitt still fighting here with Trevor Leonard. One of the Racecraft cars, looking very schmick out there as well. Competitors we haven't got running. Gus was out early. Tyson Broad's out of the race as well. Mackenzie Stewart out of the race. We still have 36 competitors out there circulating. Well done.
Get out the way when you're closer. Like now.
Circuit, Chris Brazell there. Limping. He'll try and sneak that back to the pits. Broken right front suspension. We'll see if we can't get a replay of what's happened to Chris there. Kobe Williams also went off as well. Just backing things back here to try and find his incident. Luckily, not too far to the pits to get it back in. Let's have a quick look at this off track now for Chris. Camera angle, that one. Get a shot up the hill, and just gonna lose the back end on turning. Yeah, got a swapper on and put it into the barrier as well. So probably pretty lucky. Obviously broke the front suspension, but could have done a lot worse. That thing still limpable. Back to the pits, and he'll get back out into the race. But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Back live and back with your race leader, 4.1 seconds. It's a walk in the park. Probably been the most spread out racing we've seen this round. And to be honest with you, I thought this track would be much tighter together. I'm sure the aero wash here is hurting the drivers in these long loaded sweeping corners, but I did expect to, you know, on a race like this, we have that old train effect going on. No kittens in this race tonight, Luke. No, not doing that for Meow anyway.
Race control, can we get my lap 36
Trevor Leonard here with Dylan O'Shea. There's a bit of chit chat to race control. I'm not sure if it's from Trevor about someone else in this situation, as Luke Fitt just dropped down the order a couple of spots. He's around as well, unfortunately. So Fitt drops back to 22nd, 23rd now as Thomas Cal goes through. Mitchelson next in the queue for them. But yeah, a few little mistakes creeping in now at the end of this race, and Leonard's still chatting to race control. Not sure if he maybe got together with someone. We'll have a quick look at the Kobe Williams incident, which happened a minute or two ago, lap 33, so 3 laps ago. This was Kobe Williams, all by himself as well. We're going to see another back end go around. Yep, lights it up. It got way out on the marbles there. You can actually see how wide he was through the corner, and that's hence why it's lit up and gone around. We're back live with 5 to go. So I think a blanket toe's just been given out, which means we're going to go our second race of 2 tonight without a safety car. So it's really clean as far as no huge bingles in this top split race. They've been well behaved, and lap after lap have put it together. And like I said to you, it's not the real tight-knit, fast racing battles I thought it would be, this track. And I haven't broadcast from here before. It's the first time I've really seen the place, so it's a great race circuit. But like I said, I'm not sure from the driver's seat. We'll get to ask them during the interviews. Is it to do with the aero wash? Is it to do with vision, or can you not follow a car that closely around this circuit with so many sweeping bends? I got no idea. Or is it just one of those races where you have now and then where the battles just dissipate, and that's it? We look at Glasspool now, 6th place. Once again, fighting with Yeaman, and then behind them Roberts. So Roberts he'll want to pick off these two and get P6 if he can at least. I don't think he'll catch Williams with about 3 laps to go. I think that's probably out of his grasp now, but he definitely can probably sense Daniel Yeaman being one that he can pick off, and possibly James Glasspool as well. Before we wrap up the night, a big thanks once again to our sponsors, Racecraft Simulations, the naming rights partner for this series, for F3A, powered by FRG. What a fantastic organisation that is. And then a big thanks to VRS, who are giving away a $99 package. Tonight's code word is Viking, VIKING, so get that in. And thanks Philip, Cheryl as well, and a few others that have entered in the last few minutes for that competition. And then, of course, big thanks to Lovely Stickers, giving away or giving a 10% discount if you want to go and order some stickers for your sim rig to make it look lovely. And also thanks to Schots, who are on board once again this season. Go and do some online shopping and support them. It's a great business going on there. So big thanks to all our sponsors, and a big thanks to you as well for tuning in and supporting these race drives. I know a lot of you are here from Split 1 as well, but you also are watching friends, family race, and these guys and girls absolutely love getting out in the sim on a Tuesday night and doing battle here at European tracks for this Racecraft simulations Euro series. We're at round 4 already, so it's flying along, and some of the big names we're used to seeing at the top and not at the top, which is incredible. And Philip Worley, though, he'll get the white flag at the end of this lap, I think. Yeah, definitely white flag end of this lap, and he has driven the skin off this car. It's a 5.2 second margin back to his closest competitor, so what a drive. In Hanley's requesting a tow. They've given blanket tow now, so he doesn't really need to call that anymore. He can just do it. But this has been a beautiful drive from 4th on the grid from memory, so 2nd row. Stuck through, a bit of misfortune for Reese at the start as well, but you've got to be consistent in this game, and that's what he's been tonight. He's just knocked off lap after lap. He's still lapping in the 13s, by the way. He's done a 12.9, so we did hit the 12s in the end, but incredible to think the pace that these guys can actually run with race fuel. We got a spinner there, there's a bit of smoke. But final lap is underway. White flag is dropped for Phil Worley, and one more lap around this fantastic circuit will find him at the checker flag and taking a win tonight. So stick around for a couple of minutes after the broadcast. We'll get some interviews in with the drivers and wrap it all up here from round number 4. Looking forward to where we're off to next week, and hopefully Dave. Oh, Yeaman makes a mistake, loses the place to Roberts, so that was a freebie there for Ben Roberts. He moves up into 6th now, and Roberts may even try something here in the last lap against James Glaspel. I know Yeaman wasn't really firing it down the inside or trying too much. I reckon Benny Roberts may do just that as we look at this man with only a third of the lap to go. Philip Worley for simrigs.com, DPR, heading around now up the top end of the circuit. He'll be popping the champagne and enjoying this one for weeks to come, because this has been a well-deserved win. And the checker flag drops, and Phil Worley will take it tonight and take it to the trophy cabinet. What a great win, 5.5 seconds over Bailey Evans. It's a 1-2 for the team. And Jack Mara comes home in 3rd to edge out Rob Bowden, who's driven so well tonight as well. James Glaspel gets 5th, and it's Benjamin Roberts 6th place to cross the line behind James Glaspel. Doesn't get the job done in the end. And Daniel Yeaman, unfortunately, who dropped those couple of positions towards the end there, finishes back in 7th ahead of Kobe Williams. 8th place, Rogers and McFarlane will round out your top 10. So some good racing once again tonight. Josh Fitt will go 12th behind Anspach. Then it's Benny Brazier, O'Shea, Leonard, McGetts, Pulse at a 16th. How's that for Heartbreak? He's going to finish way down outside the top 15 in his efforts tonight. But put your hands together for this guy. It's been a fantastic win. We'll have some interviews shortly, and then we'll wrap it up all here from round number 4 of this F3A series. So just waiting on results to be made available from iRacing. We'll put them up on the screen as soon as they are made available. Philip Worley with the win. Bailey Evans, P2. And Jack Mara is top 3. Great racing all around, but here are those results finally made available from iRacing, and this is how it turned out. So your winner by a healthy margin of 5.5 seconds over Evans. Jack Mara was your top 3. Congratulations. I'll flick through the rest of the order if you want to see where your favourite competitors are. There's a few names there that will be regretting some of the mistakes they made tonight, that's for sure. But a good field once again, a top field of cars rounding out this Gold Series race. So congratulations. We'll get the top drivers. Phil Worley hopefully be in shortly to have a quick chat. And so will Bailey Evans. Jack Mara, always entertaining to talk to. Let's wait and just see if we can't get him in a second. So we'll start off with, let's go back to front today. We'll start with Jack, mate. Congratulations, P3. How was your race?
The race was pretty sweaty. Tricky track, tricky tyres, lots of hard work, but happy with it.
Yeah, great drive, man. And obviously, anytime you can finish on the top 3 is good. And, you know, it wasn't as close as I thought. We didn't have a safety car. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah. I know there was lots of crashing, lots of spinning, but I think the runoff area helps, and people can get out of the way, tow, and then we're free to race on.
Yeah, great job. And Bailey, mate, P2 tonight. Congratulations. And to be out there with your teammate as well, another 1-2 for the team. Congratulations on a great race tonight.
Thanks, mate. Bit of a sweaty one, but we got it done.
Yeah, good job. And then Phil, mate, great win. You just looked like you were in a class of your own tonight. You pulled out a 5.5 second lead there to win the race. It didn't look like it was hard work for you at all. You like this track?
I do like this track. The hard work part's very wrong. It was hard work. probably got a bit lucky with that incident at turn 1 where Ben got a slow down having to go to the right of Reese there. So, I mean, we'll take it, but we'll move on.
Yeah, great drive, man. Well done. We'll do some thank yous, starting off with P3 tonight. We're going to go back to front. So, Jack, who would you like to thank, mate, for P3?
Yeah, first I just want to say congrats to Bailey and Philip. They drove awesome race, mid-pace, didn't have many outs for them, so good for them. And shout out to Scotty Travis, mate, in the silver race. Old mate's got some big niggly kidney stones, and he's been cracking on. That's good. And of course, can't forget Big Snacker Chingy Chips, favourite sponsor, keeping my waistline nice and big. And I like to thank them for that.
Well done, mate. Great racing tonight. Bailey, P2, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank you, Luke, because it's always a good watch back. Rue and the team, and then simrigs.com, South Wales Lift and Hoist, Ben Max Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, and MP Designs. Great
drive, man. Good to see you on the podium tonight. And then finally, our race winner, Philip Wally, with the win tonight. Great drive, incredible speed out there and pace. Well done. Who would you like to thank?
Thanks, mate. Obviously, you and all the broadcast team, they do a phenomenal job, so it's always good to go back and watch it. Of course, Rue and all the boys who are putting on the series at F3A. And then, of course, the team sponsors, simrigs.com, South Lifts and Hoists, Ben Max Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, and of course, MP Designs for the lovely deliveries that we're running.
Great, the cars look good, man. A 1-2 finish for you tonight. Well done. And thanks for coming in for a chat. Your top 3 tonight, Philip, Wally, Bailey Evans, and Jack Mara. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers. Righto, Roo, that's it for tonight, man. No safety cars at all tonight. For good racing out there, good clean racing. A couple of little spinners, but other than that, that was well behaved.
Yeah, we were expecting not quite a few, but at least one safety car on this track. I mean, it's such a winding and undulating track. We're expecting 1 or 2. But it seems every time someone went off, there was just a big runoff area,
yep.
And the racing kept going. And it's going to tighten things up with Benny falling behind a bit there and Jack still banking points, so that's going to close the gap a little.
Yeah, it's going to start to really, heat things up towards the end of the championship, which is good. Mate, new circuit, obviously. I enjoyed it. It's a nice looking racetrack. I look forward to seeing other classes of cars on here too, because it's just got a nice flow to it. But yeah, it's where we're off to next week.
Red Bull Ring.
So,
trying to work out what setup to put on this one, because it's, there's a lot of straights, a lot of toes, but then there's a couple of those tight corners where you can get a bit of a wiggle on, so still to work that one out, but that one should be great.
Yeah, man, awesome. And a big thanks to Schots, of course, Home Emporium, and all our great sponsors. VRS, once again, that competition, you can enter VIKING is the code word tonight, which is cool. VIKING, obviously to do with Norway.
Oh, yes. Since we're up in this area, yeah, I thought VIKING was the right thing to put.
Very cool. So get that in, and then obviously couldn't do it without fantastic racecraft simulations and lovely stickers giving us that 10% off. So thanks to all the sponsors. And Rue, anything you want to add? We have sent a few messages out tonight for Dave Robertson. Just send him our love. Obviously in hospital at the moment, so a big hello from all of us here.
Absolutely, and I hope he's well enough soon to watch this back and put a smile on his face, and as soon as he's recovered, I'm sure he'll be back into the commentary booth and giving us his wisdom.
I sure as hell miss him, mate. I've been slurring all night tonight after today's work, so hopefully, and I'm not drunk, I'm just tired. So,
well, I had a cheeky wine just to bring myself up to speed.
Oh, mate, if I had one of those, I'd just be asleep. So, no, it's fantastic. Good series as always, Rue. Looking forward to next week. Great race tonight for our podium, and Rue, thanks for all your hard work, and a shout out to Ty as well. And who else did you have in there again? Lockie.
We got Lockie.
I forgot Lockie for a second there. Lockie and Ty.
Lockie and Ty, who didn't get a run in the safety car, but did a lot of hard work in the steward room, so we're pretty happy with him.
Very good. Righto, mate. Well, we'll see you next week, and thanks again, man. And thanks to all the viewers. It's been F3A live tonight for round number 4, season number 12 of this Racecraft Simulations European Tour. Thanks, boys. We'll see you next week.
See you, mate.
Cheers. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. This has been Racestars TV production, and we'll catch you next time out here for some more racing next Monday night for the Roads to Rumble. Till then, good night.